Jackson with the Austin Days. Fun Fest 2008. We're here with the Dead Milkmen.
Hello.
Hello.
You guys, when was the last time you guys played a show?
We played one last week, to be honest. Or a week before last.
We did actually some secret low-key warm-up shows.
Yeah, so don't feel bad and think, oh well, they played somewhere before their first show, because we would have stunk if we had no.
We were afraid, It was like we walk on stage and like, how do we do this?
So it's kind of like the Stones having a few.
We did a
practice
little
shows
mystery. We did a little mystery club show.
But
in Philly.
here's the thing: we only did songs by Jethro Tull. Let us bring you songs in the woods.
But yeah, I mean, before that, it was 4 years ago. We did a couple of memorial shows for Dave, our bass player who died. So, and before that, it was about almost 10 years.
Yeah, easily. There's a big long break between when we stopped playing and
I was asking that yesterday. Like, when was the last time we were in Austin? It was probably like '93 or '94 was the last time we played in Austin.
Yeah, you guys didn't even have paved roads or indoor plumbing then. Very, very long time ago. Yeah, the cattle roam the streets. Yeah,
we had just gotten electricity.
Yeah,
So, why did you choose Fun Fest?
It chose us.
Well, Graham, the promoter, really hounded us and made us a nice offer. Plus,
he wouldn't take no for answer.
He wouldn't take no for answer. But we recorded 3 records here with Brian Beatty as producer. Brian Beatty from Glass Eye. So we really loved Austin and thought it would be fun to come back and hang out in town. It's just a great place. So we'd be able to get back here.
Awesome.
We saw Brian last night, in fact.
I didn't. I was a Weasel man.
And he's going to be here, and the rest of Glass Eye people. So see some old friends. It'll be cool.
I went to get Indian.
You went?
They all went to Brian's house. I should have gone, but I have a really bad cold. Indian.
You want to plug your Indian food restaurant?
No, I don't want to plug. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's really good. I don't know, because they did have that loud and obnoxious people, I'm sure, from the plane there. But downstairs in the basement, rock.
Let's talk about some of the albums you recorded here. I think you recorded Beelzebubba.
Beelzebubba.
Yep.
Yep.
You probably know better what we recorded here than I do.
I only know that because I saw the record in Stuart Sullivan's studio.
Stuart Sullivan.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Is he the Stuart from the song?
No, it's just that we just kept meeting all these people named Stuart, and it was just like this recurrent thing, all day long. Hi, I'm Stuart. Hi, I'm Stuart. Hi, I'm Stuart. And this is something's going on here. You're getting these weird Jungian synchronicities.
One of the Stuarts though did live in a trailer park.
Yes, he did live in a trailer park.
In Indiana.
He was. Yeah, he was a. What did he do? Was he a chemical engineer? Or
he worked for a university.
Very high level job. But he decided to, in fact, tour with us as our roadie. And while he did that, he learned to make balloon animals, which is so cool. It's like our roadie skills are not what regular roadie skills would be.
We actually played a show in the trailer park on our first tour. It was like the first show of the first tour in 1985. That kind of had something to do with that song.
Most bands would be like, tell their roadies, look, you go out and tell that girl to come backstage. We're like, can you make us a zebra? Make me a giraffe. Sad, really.
Was there truly a burrow owl incident, or was that?
The burrow owl comes from our friend Jeff Fox, and we were stopped in California on the border. I think Kathy McCarthy from Glass Eye's actually seen a burrow owl, but there was a sign that said you won't find the burrow owl living in a tree. No, that rascally rabbit, that rascal whatever lives in a hole in the ground. So we saw these kids looking in a tree, and we started screaming obscenities at them. You little bastards! Don't you know, you moron? And their parents are looking at us look, your kids are looking up in the tree for the burrow owl. And it just kind of stuck. It became this joke that would just, when you're on tour, you get these sort of tour mutations, these jokes that just, they're in jokes, and they just grow and grow and grow. With Frank Zappa, it was the whole whipping post thing, where somebody yelled whipping post at one of their shows, and by the end of the tour, they had put the Allman Brothers song "Whipping Post" into their set.
Yeah. Why didn't we ever do that?
What,
so we play Whipping Post tonight?
No, I would go more with the Angel Spit song, 100%.
Okay.
Because I've already mentioned bands that are so old that people watching this won't know what I'm talking about. How about that Rudy Valley? Oh, he's good. He brings us songs from the woods.
Can we talk about some of your material that became popular?
Sure.
What's the story behind Bitch and Chimera?
Again, I was stuck in a line at 7-Eleven with Joe. I used to eat these things. I used to have the worst dietary. I don't know. I've gotten fat as a vegetarian, but when I was young and thin, I used to eat crap. Remember? And I used to have this thing for microwavable bean and cheese burritos, which are called a crap bag. I don't know what
Dung
we
bag.
get. Dung bag. And I used to really like them for two reasons. One is I found out, my friend Doug Bennett and I found out when we were in Jersey, that in Pennsylvania, first you heat up the burrito, which I like to heat till, I used to like to heat till they were red hot. I don't eat them anymore. And then you pay for it. But in Jersey, you're supposed to pay for it, then heat it up. So I heated up one till it was glowing, and this like manager comes over. It's this big moment, you know, to yell at some kids. So I was like 16 when this happened, and he grabs it. Older than that actually, but he grabs it. And he's like, you know, like giving us a lecture about, you know, paying for things first before you heat them up, and you can smell the flesh burn on his hand. So I'm in line to get one of these. I'm behind Joe, and these guys are talking about every other sentence out of their mouth. Literally, it's almost the beginning's almost taken word for word for what they said. I wrote it down on a paper bag, and then I finished it on a septibus. But I wrote it down as they were saying about like, dude, man, I'm like going to the shore. Dude, my cousin's got this Camaro, and they were like so proud about it. And I thought that's something you really need to capture, because when we capture the stuff that gets captured, never tends to be the way real people talk. You know, it's when you know stuff gets captured. When you go to see a play, it's always these erudite individuals that went to an Ivy League school, or it's kind of take on the working class. You know, nobody actually just, you know, all right, I'm going to tape what people say and try to make it as close as possible. So I thought that was good. That was, you know, sort of my Thornton Wilder moment.
In Pennsylvania, New Jersey, everybody goes to the Jersey Shore, to the beach. I don't know what people do here, but at least when we were growing up, there was a whole separate music scene there.
Oh, man.
Cover bands.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yes.
part of that intro to Bitch and Camaro involves the Doors cover band. I mean, there were bands that like would do whole shows like that. And I mean, they still exist and everything. I don't know, is that a scene like that around here?
A little bit. There are a couple of venues that do primarily cover music.
So it's kind of a big deal for like, you know, high school kids or
MTV has
just out
a
of college
show
to go
called
to the
Real.
Jersey Shore and check out these bands that did covers, you know, beach clubs or whatever.
MTV does these documentaries called Real Life, because nobody covers Real Life like MTV. And they have one called I Have a Summer Share, and oh my God, it's like that it's that culture never died, never mutated. It's exactly now the same way it was then. It's
So
just
Bitch
really
and
creepy.
Camaro is still timely and topical
Yes.
today.
And they still make
And
Camaros.
timeless.
Yes, it's timeless. Timely is today's headline. But today's headline was, of course, Sarah Palin gets tongue stuck on frozen pole.
Right.
Oh, your biggest hit was probably Punk Rock Girl. What's story
Joe's
behind
not
that?
here to.
Yeah, Joe's not here to talk about it, and the truth
But,
is, I had nothing to do at all. Probably was our biggest hit. I was asleep on the sofa in the studio. I could have maybe played accordion.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Joe wrote that song. I think that he and Dave actually wrote
Yeah,
it.
in Daybreak.
Yeah, they performed it as ornamental.
And they were Ornamental Wigwam. They used to do
Yeah,
that
it
song.
became
Yeah.
a Dead Milkmen song. And again, what's interesting, MTV just came out with a new website called MTVvideo.com, and I was surprised to see that if you look on like the top 50 or the most viewed or whatever, Punk Rock Girl video is in the top 50 on that website still.
So we were proud or ashamed?
I don't know, I don't know. It's
I have to look at the other
interesting.
videos.
It's still getting airtime on MTV. Well, MTV TV doesn't show videos anymore, but they have to put them on the
They
website.
show Real Life, and they show. Oh, by the way, while we're on the topic of TV, I just want to say, Elena should have never been kicked off of America's Next Top Model. I just want to say two things about the McLaughlin. One person about TV. One person, McLaughlin Group. Monica, get off the McLaughlin Group, okay? You're not fit to be on there. Second is, Tyra, put Elena back on America's Next Top Model. Who did Tyra? I turned on Tyra last night. She had some weird. Oh God, it was. Oh no, she had Don, the vampire from the old reality show Madman Madhouse. So Tyra was dealing with vampires last night.
Sorry for that,
Yes. Sorry about that.
So now that you're not touring as a group and playing as a group anymore, what are you guys doing? Are you sitting on the couch watching TV? Or
Pretty much this. It's like, yeah.
doing?
When somebody comes by in interviews.
We said we're not coming to Austin unless you bring us a couch.
Yeah. And a comfy couch it is.
No, we all have day jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Separate interests.
We all mostly have day jobs.
I had
Yeah.
one.
We had one.
We keep him free. You know what I'm saying? He's our
I'm on
free
call.
range.
Joe and I do, like web computer type work, and Ronnie does business analyst type stuff. And Dandrew is a bass player for hire.
He's a free range bass
He's
player.
a free range bass player.
You can
Meet on
move
those
here and
guys.
make $50 a night if you want.
Rock and roll.
I can make that on the corner of where I live. I mean, I probably make more here because the